We know that any success we enjoy is because of Jehovah's direction and blessing. And so, the theme of this presentation is, See What Jehovah Has Done for Us. The faithful and discreet slave has always taken very seriously Jesus' command recorded at Matthew 28:19. Go and make disciples of people of all the nations, baptizing them. And that's what our Bible study activity aims to accomplish. For decades, our method of conducting studies was to study printed material paragraph by paragraph. When answering the questions for the paragraph, some students would often just repeat what was stated in the book. However, it was hard to know whether the truth was really touching their heart. With Enjoy Life Forever, we're using a different method of teaching that generates candid expressions by the students in their own words. This is just what the governing body feels is needed to bring new ones to dedication and baptism during these urgent last days. We must help the student to see Jehovah as a real person and to develop a warm relationship with him, and encourage the student to get into a routine of regular Bible reading, prayer, and meeting attendance. Does Enjoy Life Forever provide what we need to accomplish all of that? It certainly does. The Scriptures are the focal point of each lesson, so the student is prompted to find answers in the Bible. The questions draw out the student's feelings about what he's learning. Early in the course, students are helped to appreciate what Jehovah is like, to feel his love for them, and to see how to draw close to him as their friend. The beautiful artwork and motivating videos have real emotional impact.
The beautiful artwork and motivating videos have real emotional impact. What have I been saying in rebuttal after rebuttal for as long as I can remember? Isn't that what this organization is all about? Manipulating people through emotional reasoning. If you can hook people with their emotions, things don't really need to make quite as much sense, do they? You don't really need to provide people with sound, logical reasoning if you've got them by their emotions. If you've managed to convince them to want it to be true, irrespective of whether it actually is true. And a great example of just one way that Jehovah's Witnesses persuade people to want something to be true is given here.
We must help the student to see Jehovah as a real person and to develop a warm relationship with him, and encourage the student to get into a routine of regular Bible reading, prayer, and meeting attendance.
We must help the student to see Jehovah as a real person, not we must convince our student using facts and logic that Jehovah is a real person. Just, we must help the student to see Jehovah as a real person. Either Jehovah is real or he isn't. If Jehovah is real, then why do you need to help someone to see someone who is real as being real? Why don't you just show this real person to the person you're studying with, and then they'll know that it's a real person? The very fact that you need to word it that way, for me, indicates a degree of insecurity and also reveals the manipulation at the core of this group. Again, it's not about persuading. It's not about convincing people using facts and logic. It's about helping people to see things a certain way and encouraging them to do certain things, such as the routine of Bible reading, prayer, and meeting attendance. Apparently, when you're studying with someone as a Jehovah's Witness, you need to be encouraging them to get on this hamster wheel of doing these things that will keep them mentally occupied. Stop them from having any space or time to really think about whether it's true or not. Because when all you're doing is just constantly praying, reading the Bible, attending meetings, maybe at some point you become an unbaptized publisher and you start preaching as well. The deeper you get into it, the more involved you get, the more privileges you can have, especially if you're a guy. Sorry, ladies, you don't get quite as many privileges in Jehovah's organization. The busier you can make someone, the harder it's going to be for them to see through the hoax, for them to see the fabric of this illusion starting to unravel when exposed to the slightest scrutiny. This is a group that is proud of how manipulative it is and openly tells its followers to encourage or manipulate people.